Hey everybody, it's Matt. Welcome back. So today we're going to be doing the oil pan gasket. So I have the gasket here, bucket to drain the oil, and then hopefully it goes well. And then if I have time, I'm going to knock out this fuel filter because I lied and I didn't do it in the previous video. Also, the headlights aren't working for me, so I have to figure out why it's not working. So I got my little multimeter right here so that we can knock that out. All right, hope you guys enjoy the video. In this shot here, I'm undoing the oil pan bolt so that I can drain all the oil so that I can pull the oil pan off. Don't know if that's important, but yeah, something to note. Let's get this plate off. In this clip, I'm trying to take off a bracket that's impeding access to the oil pan. There's 4 bolts I need to take off for me to get that access. Now that the bracket is out of the way, I'm going to remove the bolts for the oil pan. In this clip here, I'm removing the last bolt to then drop the oil pan. So I thought the oil pan was going to fit. It turns out there's that bracket that's kind of in the way that's preventing it from coming out. So I'm just going to loose this metal strap on the coolant, one of the coolant reservoirs. I don't know if many of you guys had to drop an oil pan for an LMTV, but removing this coolant reservoir out of the way was one of the worst things I've ever had to do on this truck thus far. Oh man, getting off that oil pan was a nightmare. Hope to never do that ever again. So I have the gasket here, the new one. I don't know, it just kind of seems a little different than this, the OEM. OEM one looks way more robust. Mine looks just like a thin little sliver. We'll see if it works. This clip here is me cleaning the oil pan in preparation to put the new gasket on. Alright, this is where I put the oil pan gasket and oil pan back together onto the engine block. This right here was just as frustrating as taking it off because the gasket kept sliding off for me. I probably could have put gasket maker so that the gasket wouldn't slide, but I didn't think that far ahead. If you notice here, I'm using a ratchet strap to bring the oil pan close to the engine block. This was a godsend and definitely saved me a lot of time and hassle of just me trying to manipulate this oil pan, place it flush against the engine block, and then screw a bolt in. Yeah, this was the way to go. While the truck is in idle, it doesn't appear for the new gasket to be leaking at all. So it looks like it's a success. Alright, now that the oil pan gasket is kind of working, I'm going to replace the fuel filter. So I got this R45P right here. I got off Amazon from Parker and Raccor. Yeah, when I pull out the oil, it seemed extremely dark for replacing it, 100 miles ago. So maybe it's the fuel going into the chambers isn't burning right. I don't know. You guys probably know more than me. So here I'm just trying to wipe off some of the dirt, oil, and diesel that accumulated on the fuel water separator, so it's easier for me to turn it when the time comes. Alright, the moment of truth. Is it going to be like the oil filter? Nope, it's a little bit easier. Here I'm removing the diesel fuel line into the fuel separator. I did this because it was going to provide more clearance for me to remove the fuel separator. I'm just a bad YouTuber because I didn't film me pulling out the fuel water separator. Where the air was pointing is the bracket I loosened for the primer. This gave me enough clearance to pull out the fuel water separator, and I recommend doing this. This was definitely missing an O-ring. That's why it looks so bad. It's leaking everywhere. Alright, I'm gonna go get some oil real quick. Alright, got these O-rings lubed up a little bit. Just gonna put it together and put it back. This part. I don't know if that's the way to do it, but that's a way. Well, that should be it. Let's start the truck. It seems as if all the repairs I did are working just fine. I appreciate the support. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.